This is the plaintiff, George Reyes. He says the defendant was friends with his son and was going through a rough patch in his life. He was once in the defendant's shoes, so he decided to help the guy out by buying him a car. He told the defendant he'd give him time to pay it off as he got back on his feet, and he eventually got his job back. Well, the kid hasn't paid him a dime. He's trying to get out of paying off his debts, and he's here to teach the young lad a lesson and collect the $2,812.23 he's owed. This is the defendant, Denzel Givens. He says the plaintiff helped him out in his time of need and never told him he had to pay any of it back. The guy turned out to be a double-crossing hothead who showed up at his apartment and slashed 2 of the tires on the car. He also disrespected him, caused his wife and child to cry, and for all he cares, the guy can have his stinking piece of junk car back. He's accused of running out on a debt.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant, who was friends with his son, was on the skid, so he helped him buy a car and he got stiffed.
Right.
But the defendant says, what else? It was a gift and revengeful. The plaintiff slashed the tires. It's the case of, I'm so tired of you.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, George Reyes, you're suing your son's friend, Denzel Givens, for $2,812.23 for damage that he did to your car when you were trying to collect on a debt for a car you bought him that he also hasn't paid for, according to you. Tell me your version. What's going on?
I met Mr. Givens around May of 2012.
How did you know him?
Through my son.
How long had they been friends?
They started working together this year. They just met this year.
Okay.
My son was telling me he was having transportation problems. He had one car, and the wife got into an accident, a hit and run. So now they were down to no car, and he was having transportation problems to get to and from work. He was on the verge of losing his job because of that. My son and I offered, he didn't ask us, we offered him assistance, and he took it. I took him to a car dealership. We bought a car.
Okay, I have to ask you why.
To assist him.
Why though? I mean, somebody who your son had just met? Or
yes.
Your son really, really close to him?
No, they weren't really close. But
I mean, I need to meet a better class of people. Apparently, because none of my friends would buy me a car.
Well, I mean, we saw his kind of world literally falling apart where nobody was stepping forward to assist him. Nobody in his life.
Except for that now you figured out why?
I think so.
So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so you saw somebody in need, so you decided to shell out $1,400?
The point is everybody needs assistance at one point or another in their life.
Absolutely.
And we step forward to the plate. I mean,
you know, I'd like to be able to say, isn't that great?
It is.
But I can't help but notice you're a litigant in my courtroom.
Yes.
So obviously you didn't know him very well.
No, we didn't.
I haven't heard your side of the story, of course, but based on what you're claiming happened, it doesn't sound like you made a very good decision. So then what happens? You step up to a virtual stranger and decide to buy them a car, and then what?
I purchased the car. Denzel was with me at the time. We both went to the car dealership. I gave the money to the dealership. I put the car under his name. On top of that, I told him, when you get up on your feet, you know, start paying me whatever you can. I gave him 3 months. Around the 4th month, I was texting him, telling him what's going on. You know, you haven't paid me nothing. I mean.
And what did he say?
Text me back something about he had problems.
Do you have the text on your phone?
I have one prior to the 18th of October where we had a dispute.
So you start texting him when?
Around October.
And then his response to you is, I have no money right now, I'm having problems. And then you say to him?
I told him, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we take it to a car title loan office where they lend you money on your car title. And I told him, look, whatever they give you, give it to me and we'll squash the rest.
Okay.
We don't have to worry about it. Just give me what you can get for the car and you could pay them.
Right.
And apparently he did do that. He kept the money.
How do you know he did it?
Because it's on the police report.
Really?
Yes.
So then what happens?
I didn't find out that he had titled off the car till after the incident on the 18th of October.
Okay, so, and it's because he's still not giving you any money.
Right. I went over there to repossess the car.
All right, so you go over there and what happens?
As I'm driving up there, I could see the car had a flat tire from the back. And it just so happens him and his wife were about to leave. Well, and that's when he saw me and he chased me down and I stopped.
Did he think you had flattened his tires?
Yes. Yes.
And you drove there with who to repossess the
Nobody,
car?
just me
Just
and my
you?
dog.
Well, was your dog going to drive the other car?
No.
So then how are you going to repossess the car?
I was going to have a tow truck come and pick it up. I
So
needed the address.
he walks out to his car, sees 2 slashed tires and sees you.
Yes.
You're the guy who's mad at him for not paying.
Right.
And
Right.
he sort of
Right.
assumes that
2
maybe
and 2
you
makes
slashed
4.
his tires. That's what he thinks.
According to
kind of
him.
what I think too. Apparently it's what Douglas thinks because he's chuckling.
Yes, it
So,
does. But at the same time, I mean.
Anyway, so go on.
So we have a little dispute. He's angry and he kicks my car. And
What's the dispute? You're in the car or out of the car? When
I'm sitting in my car. I told him something like, well, you haven't paid me nothing. All you have to do, just pay me something. $10, $20.
So I don't feel like a fool?
Something like that.
Right.
And it just
Sometimes when you do a good deed, you just got to do it and forget it. And by the way, did you get him in writing on that it was a loan?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else you could have possibly done wrong? I don't know.
Well,
Don't get it in writing. Pick the wrong
Yeah.
person. You don't know him at all.
Right.
And then he ends up kicking your door in, doesn't he?
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, he kicks my door, and at that point, I called 911.
Okay. Can I see the pictures of the door? And while you're looking for that, what's going on?
Okay, what really happened was basically that he did buy me the car and he was trying to help me out in a troubling time. And I mean, yes, like he said, it was his idea. It was never my idea in the first place. And
But you jumped at it.
I mean, you wouldn't jump at a free car, especially
Well,
if
I
you
don't
just
know.
lost
Is it a
yours.
free car? Or is it a car you're supposed to eventually pay back for?
Yeah, a free car.
Really?
Really.
They barely know you. Why are they going to
Basically-
rain a car on you?
I mean, you barely know me. Why would you loan me some money that, I mean,
But according to him, he fronted you money so that you
Yeah.
could have this car and then start paying him. And he's certainly acting like a guy who you said you would pay because he keeps texting you and hawking you about the money and then shows up about the money and then probably
Okay.
slashes your tires about the money. So it sounds like you fully told him you'd be paying back and didn't.
Would you loan a casual acquaintance money for a car?
No,
Never.
Nope.
They were really in need.
no,
You would just not do it. You just tell them sorry.
yes.
Okay. Hard, but smart. Going inside the courtroom.
no, it wasn't like that at all, man. But it was just like, basically, like I said, he was trying to help me out in the troubling time, and he did. Some odd weeks passed, and he was like, George's car is having this problem, and
George is who, your good friend?
it's his son. Yeah, we're not too much of friends right now because of all this. But
you weren't even that close a friend
I
before.
mean, honestly, he's a good friend.
You said you had one text. Let me see the text that you have.
This was prior to the 18th when we had the fallout. He texted me on the October the 16th stating he was going to take a title loan on the car and give it to me, and that's pretty much what it's saying. If it was a gift, why would he even give me any money?
I'm trying to see who will give me the most money for it and give you that and talk about the next step from there. Why do you do that if it's a gift?
Because, like I said, I told him I give him what I can.
Why? It's a
And
gift. Why would you have to give him anything?
Basically, because I didn't want to leave him in a stuck-out situation, like, because he didn't leave me in a stuck-out situation. And it's like, what goes around comes back around. So I wanted to make sure I put that
Yes.
in effect.
No truer words have been spoken. What goes around comes back around. And it's about to come back around. Because I think you are a liar. I think you were supposed to pay back that money. You went out and got a title loan, didn't you?
Basically, hold on,
And
let
then
me
you
say.
put the money where?
All right, hold on.
In your pocket?
No, it was on the 14th. I had barely got the title loan.
Let me ask you a question.
Why'd you kick the door in?
Because of the fact that he was coming trying to attack me. He tried to get out the car. The maintenance man and the management seen that we got into an altercation after he tried to hit my wife. So what would you do?
Okay, well, I wouldn't be in this position. But, okay, so if that's what happened, I need you to prove it because your credibility is garbage around here right now. So if there's all these other witnesses who saw that, you should have no problem. Call your first witness.
I can't.
Exactly. And so with someone else, I might be able to stand there and say, he sounds believable. I'm talking. But with you, I can't.
Okay.
Okay?
Well,
how much did it cost you to fix the tires, though? Because I do think he's slashing.
It was only $30, and
well,
really,
I'm deducting $30 from your recovery. Let me see the report of what it's going to cost to fix the door.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I was going to sign the car back over to him the first day I got the title loan. And the reason why I didn't give him the $300 is because I knew I was going to give him the car. After the incident happened, out of rage, out of anger, because of the fact that he disrespected me. You know what?
He doesn't want the car. What he wants is the money, because I believe that is what your agreement was. We're done. Do not talk again. Okay? I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case, and the entire amount you're asking for, except for the $30 that it cost to patch the tires. $2,782.23. Verdict for the plaintiff.
All right, so the plaintiff collects and the defendant comes out here into the hallway here. Step on in. How could this go so bad?
Honestly, she ain't even listened to what I had to say. So personally.
All right, so let's talk to the plaintiff coming out on the winning end of this case. What's your reaction to the outcome here?
Justice was served, and I don't appreciate her calling me a fool for doing a good deed. I don't think
you would do the same thing again? With no paperwork, not really knowing the person you're sticking your neck out for?
No, of course not. No.
You don't think that's a little foolish?
A little bit.
All right, then.
Okay.
Harvey?
So a lot of people wonder about this, whether something is a loan or a gift. Sometimes it's murky, it's in the middle, you don't know. The fact is, in most states, here's the deal. If it's unclear, if it's ambiguous, if it could be a loan and it could be a gift, the presumption is it's a loan, because people generally don't give things. There has to be clear proof it's a gift for it to be a gift.